Countywide.
Hello and welcome to Countywide. I'm your host, Jen Cohen. Today we are talking about Yavapai ReEntry project. That is a project of Matt Force. We are here with Amy Marshall, who is a program graduate, and also Maggie Gulledge, who is a coach for the program. Ladies, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks.
Now, Yavapai ReEntry project is an amazing project that most people don't know exists. Now, tell us, please, in a nutshell, if you can, what is the ReEntry project? Who wants to take that one? Amy?
Yes, I would know.
Yes, Amy, you've got insider information on this one, don't you?
The Yavapai ReEntry project is a program based for people like myself that have been incarcerated. What it is it guides you. You are matched with a coach. You know, they just stick by your side. It's somebody that cares. You know, it's a really good screening, but you have to want the program.
Certainly.
They don't make you want it. I wanted it. It's a year's commitment, and you know, and then after. But it simply is just keeping you accountable. Other than, you know, some of the other resources that are out there.
Right.
So.
I can't imagine there are actually very many resources available for folks that have been incarcerated. Right. I think you know, you get out and you're just here's your stuff in a bag, boot, you're out the door, and then I mean, wow, the reentry, hence ReEntry project, into society, Maggie, must be really tough.
The shock of the person being released from the prison and coming back into the community. I have foster sons who've been in the program and been in prison, come out. They just relapse and they go back to prison. It's like a revolving door. I always felt my passion was they didn't have any help, but it's like Amy said, they have to want it. Right. This program is unique, I think, in that they train people to help them and not get in their space, not engulf them. And they need basic things like how to get checks, how to get a banking account, how to find a home to live in when people will not rent to felons. I mean, there's lots of issues. Matt Force, I think, really is passionate about providing those kinds of services. A little bit of money to help you get a laptop, or a little bit of this, or a little bit of that. They sound basic, and they are, but to the person getting out, they're huge.
Right, because they have
they're
nothing.
Huge. They have nothing.
They have
some of
no
these people.
system.
Some of my people that I work with in AA, you just go to the gate and they're released.
Right.
And it's like, wow, you know.
Yeah,
it's a very good program. Funding is scarce, but it is a very good program.
Where do you receive your funding for the Yavapai ReEntry
I think mostly
program?
donations, county, lots of people. Yeah, grants. They have a couple grants.
Right. Huh.
But you know, it's monumental. If my disappointment in the prison system itself was that if you go on the computer, you see all the things that are offered to prisoners. You can do this, this, and this. Some of that just doesn't happen. Especially when they have 5,000 or 6,000 prisoners, you know, maybe 20 get that kind of help. So when they get out, they're just at the doorstep. Right. Matt Force is really trying to provide them jobs, tell them where to go, how to get help. All that stuff, don't you think, Amy?
Absolutely. I had started college while I was away. One of my first goals was to continue with it when I got out, which I did. But, you know, that was just a resource that I was able to use, Maggie and some other staff, you know, just to guide me. I've never gone to college outside of prison. And so it felt good knowing that I didn't have to inconvenience, you know, my family, the very little that I have, with just stuff, you know. They have been amazing. I guess the real big point I have is it's just so important to know that somebody actually cares about you when you get out.
Right.
And that was huge for me. I mean, we all have family and we all have people that say they care, and they do, but a complete stranger is going to have faith and trust and, you know, want the best for me. That just blew my mind.
Right.
And they did. Right. And they still do. Sure. And for that, I am eager to see this work for a lot of different people. But it is a little bit of funding, and they do amazing things with what they have. But like I said, you have to want the program. It's not mandated. It's strictly volunteer basis. But it worked for me.
Great.
And it's still working.
How did you hear about it? So you were incarcerated at the time, and then
I was incarcerated at the time. I had an administrative job while I was there, and I just happened to come across a pile of paperwork on one of their desks. It was my job to clean. And came across the flyer, and it seemed, I was going back to Yavapai County. It was very interesting to me. So I had written them a letter, and then they corresponded sometime back and told me I have to wait at least a year before I get out. And I was super excited, but they were going to, in the meantime, match me with a coach. And as that process seemed like it took forever, it really didn't. I eventually was matched with a coach, and through mail I had received a card and letters and got to know Maggie. And I remember thinking to myself, what do I have in common with somebody that's 71 years old, who a long time ago, and I have to say it, was a nun.
Right.
And that to me intrigued me.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody out there thinks that this is a good match for me, bring it. And as I got to know her more so through letters, and just the more we talked, there was a lot of things that really just hit. So they did a great job with that match.
Wonderful.
There's an age difference, who cares?
Right.
She has been through things that I am going through or have gone, but a nun, that's so cool.
Yeah.
My coach, and and her story inspired me from there on after.
Sure.
It's just...
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness you ran across that paper.
Otherwise,
that's an issue. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
That is an issue for us.
We need to
We're working on that. Mat Force is diligently trying. They don't have a lot of staff. Again, we're short staffed because of money. But if we could somehow control when those letters go to the prison, we know everyone from Yavapai County that goes to prison. They get a list of those people. So the letter goes into them by name, but they, like Amy said, they may never get that letter. If the prison system doesn't distribute the mail or distribute the letters, they don't know about us. They just don't. So that was really a God thing that she found that letter and brought her to us, because Amy's actually, I believe, a poster child for Mat Force.
Absolutely.
A very huge success story, which is, I believe, the whole mission and goal of Mat Force is for our community. It's to help them come back in our community, be productive, be happy, be successful, not go back in the back door, not revolve back. And Amy's the poster child for that. She's doing very well. I'm really proud of her.
It's definitely
It's a scary thing being released,
accurate.
and it's comforting knowing that there is somebody waiting for me other than perhaps, a probation or a parole or somebody of that nature. Somebody other than maybe your mom or your dad, but somebody out there that has my best interest and truly means it.
Yeah.
It was enough for me.
That's really wonderful. I'm so glad you guys got together. We're going to have to take a quick break. We are talking about Yavapai ReEntry Project, a project of Mat Force, really amazing program to reduce recidivism in our community, helping folks who are incarcerated. We're talking with Amy Marshall, who is a program graduate and the ambassador, unofficial ambassador as of today, and Maggie Gulledge, who is a coach. We'll be right back with more Countywide, so don't go away.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late...
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new.
Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened?
Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi.
You mean you were driving?
Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
The Q102.9 plays all the hits.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake.
Ariana Grande.
Maroon 5.
This is Rihanna.
I'm Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Bruno Mars.
Ed Sheeran.
What's up, guys? It's Justin Bieber.
You're listening to The Weeknd. Start your day with Brian James in the morning. You'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page.
Zach Sang Show.
Catch the Zach Sang Show weeknights 7 to midnight. And Kelly Fox weekends on your home for hit music. The Q102.9 and 104.9 in Prescott and Cottonwood.
And welcome back to Countywide. Yes, sorry, we were having a good time. We are talking about Yavapai ReEntry Project, which is a project of Matt Force. We're talking with Amy Marshall, who is a program graduate, and as we said, the unofficial ambassador now. Maggie Gulledge, who is a coach. If you want to check it out, go to YavapaiReEntryProject.org, YavapaiReEntryProject.org. You can also go to mattforce.org. Lots of good information for you there on the programs that are done around that. Yavapai ReEntry Project focuses on those who are re-entering our community after a term incarcerated. And what are the biggest hurdles when they step out that door? What do they run across, Maggie? What are you thinking?
Yeah, and Amy knows she had to do it. But yeah. You want to go? You want?
I was scared to death.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for 4.5 years, and it became very easy and very comfortable there. You kind of tend to forget about where you left off, and all of a sudden you have to remember where to pick up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was, and there are times, I've been out for a year, there are times it's still hard for me. Certain things will pop up, or just the fact I have felonies or rentals, or, you know, your past will never leave you. The good news is that I'm trying to do the next right thing in order not to, you know, be another statistic and go back.
Sure. And that's who this program focuses on.
And they are, you know.
Those that want that.
You know, you get your parole, you get your probation, you get that, but I had an additional source. And they, like I said, they cared.
Right.
That's really all it is. There's no homework, there's no, you know, there's no big guidelines or rules or regulations. You simply just have to show up and be accountable. And they love to see that.
Yeah.
And if it means I can do it and maybe help somebody else to do it, it's two, 3 people less, you know, going back in. And
That's true.
It happens a lot.
Just having a hand, a support.
It's a ripple
somebody.
effect. It really is. You help this one, helps that one, helps your child.
Absolutely.
And I'm just saying it's some personal information, but Amy's been through a lot in that 1 year. I mean, horrendous things that would put somebody back in prison in a minute, or certainly back on drugs or alcohol. And she lost the father of her child to an accident, and she is a single parent now, and doing that in style. I mean, I'm just amazed at how hard, but she's got that confidence that I don't know if she totally would have had all that if she just came out on the doorstep and tried to do it by herself.
Right.
She has access to a lot of people. You know, not me, but I mean just lots of people in that force. And reentry are really there for you. And just like working with them now is wonderful.
Yeah.
I bet. It must be very rewarding to be a coach.
It is.
Is Amy your first?
Yes. Yes. And she was so confident and so bold. And I would call the office and say, I don't know if she really needs me. I mean, but I prayed a lot for her. But
See, that's all it was.
Yeah, that was a lot of it, I think.
Now, why did you become a coach, Maggie?
I'm very passionate about that revolving door stuff. Because I had the boys I took some boys through DES, and it's a long story, but in and out with drugs and alcohol. They come from drugs and alcohol, and that's where they are. I've been in recovery for 31 years, so I understand that loop, okay? But I didn't want them in and out. And I've never been able to help with that. And I would say there's got to be a way to help these, because sometimes, like you said, your family's not where you want to go. That's the last place.
Right.
Some people don't want to go back to the family because there's shame involved in that, and they feel like they're a failure, and they feel all that. So they just get a buddy, which is really a coach in the beginning. It's just somebody you can go have coffee with and talk with, and call this number and let me know how your day's going. And I know where I come from, where I used to live, that's very important. It's like getting a hug. A hug meant a lot to me when I was 30, you know.
Yes.
You know, I struggled a long time, so.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's wonderful that you can pass on what you've learned to help other people in the community. The program is a year long. What happens after that year?
It's a year-long commitment that they ask you to stay for. It then, of course, gosh, what happened? You know, you
just do life. Yeah.
You keep doing life. I've just kind of kept in touch with them, and my passion drives me to where I'm going to be getting back in the prisons, but this time on the right side.
On the right side.
On the right side, in the right door, in the right side with the right clothes, and you know, just get the word out there, because the information isn't available. It's not being handed out and passed out. And Yavapai County is not all that great or big, but it's they definitely have room for lots more participants.
Right.
You know, we had people calling and wanting, people like Phoenix and big cities saying, how does that reentry work? You know, they want to have a program like we have up here. We need more coaches. If we could just reach the public to say, this is not as bad a deal as you think, and you will receive training that will help you help them.
Right.
If you just have time in your life, it doesn't take a lot of time, that's what we need.
Very good.
People to meet these people.
Now, how does someone become a coach?
Through the training, and you would call Matt Force's office and tell them, you know, you heard this that we're sharing, and I'm interested in how to become a coach. Can you help me?
Right.
There are flyers all over, but the best place is to go to Matt Force.
Go to Matt Force. You do community coach trainings every so many months.
Right.
And they are free.
They're free. And I tell people, even if you don't become a coach, if you do not want to be a coach, you are another ambassador out in the community that understands that struggle of reentry.
Right. Yeah.
It's
So if
really
you want to
hard.
learn more about Yavapai ReEntry Project, attending a coach training is an excellent way to do it, whether or not you become a coach, which is excellent, because you would think, oh, well, but that's a wonderful way to learn. And really, it sounds like you're really in need to get the word out for this amazing program that's maybe underutilized. And to do that would be community coach training. So again, check out mattforce.org and also Yavapai ReEntryProject.org. Information there. There's always a calendar. Tells you when the next one's coming. The next one is coming in January, so you've got plenty of time to prepare for that. When we come back, we're going to button it all up. It's just, I'm so pleased to have you both here. You both have insider information, which is really wonderful. You have the personal experience, Amy, of being on the inside, now being on the outside, understanding completely what you go through, and showing that the program works.
Yes.
And
it does work,
makes life so much easier to have a support network who's not a family member, who doesn't know your story, who doesn't have that going on. Here's a person that has hope and faith in you, and Yavapai ReEntry Project brings you together.
A little bit of guidance, that's all it is, and it does so much.
Excellent. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with more Countywide, so don't go away.
Yeah, it's like a family.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
The Q102.9 plays all the hits.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake.
Ariana Grande.
Maroon 5.
This is Rihanna.
I'm Shawn Mendes. Hey, it's Bruno Mars. Ed Sheeran. What's up, guys? It's Justin Bieber. You're listening to The Weeknd.
Start your day with Brian James in the morning. You'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page.
Zach Sang Show.
Catch the Zach Sang Show weeknights 7 to midnight. And Kelly Fox weekends on your home for hit music. The Q102.9 and 104.9 in Prescott and Cottonwood.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The Q102.9 Play all the hits. Start your day with Brian James in the morning. You'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page. Start your day with Brian James in the morning. You'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page.
Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
And welcome back to Countywide. I'm your host, Jen Cohen. We've been talking about Yavapai ReEntry Project. Check out YavapaiReEntryProject.org. Also check out matforce.org because it is a program of MatForce. Check that out. We're talking with Amy Marshall, who is a program graduate, and Maggie Gulledge, who is a coach. Now, let's talk about that really important thing, what Yavapai ReEntry does for the community. We've been talking about what it does for the formerly incarcerated citizen, but what it does for the rest of us, for me, for the taxpayer, for my neighbor, what it does, Maggie, what happens for us when people go through this program.
There's a lot of negative thought out there. You know that, we all know that people say, oh, well, I'm not going to rent to this person because they've been in prison. And I've had that personal experience with foster kids, that how do you move out of drugs and alcohol if the only place you can live is where it's infested with drugs and alcohol? There has to be a way in our community to provide affordable housing. We do it for the poor, we do it for everyone else, for people who are trying to start their life over in a positive way and give back to our community. You know, these people were incarcerated. They've paid the price for whatever their wrong was. We don't need to keep continuing to punish them in some way when they're trying to give back. And this program allows them that way to give back. Funding is very little for this program. We do get donations, we get grants, but for every few people that we can help, I mean, there's hundreds that could be re-entryed through a program like this. And have somewhere to go if they have questions, a healthy place to go. You know, if you're living with these people that are on drugs and alcohol and you're going to ask them, nothing changed. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So this is a program, I feel, that's strongly rooted in helping others in a good way for the community. They're going to work in our jobs. Amy's already working jobs, and she doesn't have to wear a label that says that she's been incarcerated. She's Amy Marshall, and that's a proud place to be.
Absolutely.
And I'm passionate. You can tell that I'm passionate.
I can tell that.
It drives me.
Yeah.
It really does. And she said something just on the way over here. You know, she's always. We were having a talk about another participant and maybe another coach, and you know, everybody does their stuff different. You know, everybody's individual on how you coach your participant. But the biggest thing that she said to me on the way here was, you know, I may not do it this way or I may not do it that way, but my goal is to help these people not go back.
Right.
And that is huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's the main goal, so that the folks
why not have a better
don't go
community?
back.
I'm
Absolutely.
going to definitely strive to be, you know, the best community member I can possibly learn to be. Why not make it better? Starting with, you know, with me.
You know, I just want to say one thing because I don't want to run out of time. But one thing that really touches my heart is when I go see my sons in prison and the door slams, and that's a terrible feeling because they're incarcerated. You get that sense that I want them to come out and not go back and hear the door slam.
Right.
And this is an opportunity to help that happen.
This is the way it works.
This is the way it
works. You get involved in Yavapai ReEntry Project. You get a coach. They help you make the right decisions. You can't make good decisions in a bad place.
Right. Thank you.
You know, you need someplace good to go. You need someone to guide you along, hold your hand if you need to, help you with information, even the basic stuff, so that these folks can be hardworking, successful citizens in our community. So it helps me, it helps the neighbors, it helps everybody, it helps the person. So it's not just about the formerly incarcerated person. It covers everybody across the board. So get involved. Check out YavapaiReEntryProject.org. Check out matforce.org. Volunteer, donate, become a coach. Check out their community coach trainings. They happen periodically. And that's it for Countywide. We've been talking with Amy Marshall and Maggie Gulledge from Yavapai ReEntry Project. Thanks. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.